What does Tadatmya mean to me?
Hare Krishna, my obeisances to you all. I appreciate being asked what the Alliance means to me. Tadatmya is a natural overflowing from Padmanabha Swami's book, Radical Personalism, as well as the enlivening discussions that have been generated by his free radical podcasts. I've been observing the blossoming of the person and his messages with great joy, because I feel what Padmanabha Swami is offering is really acutely needed in our communities. There's so much illumination and love coming from this direction. And if you're not familiar with the book or the podcasts, I encourage you to have a look at them, explore them. There are so many facets of radical personalism that surely will speak to your own heart and even possibly usher in an enhanced way of thinking about your relationships and your practice of bhakti. It's really with sincere and deep gratitude I thank Padmanabha Swami for being the mouthpiece, as he called himself, for radical personalism and Tadatmya. He's insightful and articulate, and he's boldly speaking what has been on many devotees' minds for a very long time. What a breath of fresh air to take in and feel new life. I've been a proponent of radical personalism for decades, but I often felt I failed in the kind of personalism I wanted to embody. It hasn't been easy to change my way of being cautious and distant and impersonal, but transformation is needed to benefit ourselves and the broader community. And change is simply easier to do in the association with those who have similar intentions. And then that way we can share successes and failures and our lessons learned and encourage each other. And those are some of the reasons why I think the Sangha being offered in the Tadatmya Devotional Alliance is such a boon and is so wise. But as we know, just speaking about lofty ideals isn't enough. We need to see them in action. This is the importance of behavior or achar over prachar or instructions. Yes, we need to hear, but we also need to see ideals modeled. And really, by embodying his message of personalism in our relationships, Padmanabha Swami is practically showing how his vision is not simply theoretical or just an idealistic notion, but it's a reality that's possible for every one of us to express. And I'd have to say that by observing the response from pilgrims around the world, I know that Padmanabha Swami has touched a nerve and sparked hope through his own deepening commitment to being radically personal with every person. With the book Radical Personalism and the ongoing dialogue on the Free Radical podcast, and now the development of the Tadatmya Alliance, I have a feeling that we've been given a way forward for serious progress in removing impersonalism from our devotional lives and communities. So when I think about the possibilities, I become excited about the prospects for us individually, as well as for Gaudiya Vaishnavism as a whole. For me, even just the one message that Krishna unconditionally loves me has already liberated me from a tyrannical inner voice that was inhibiting my progress. And so with this, I have new eyes to view my relationship with Krishna, and really it's truly wondrous. So I encourage you to have a look deeply here too. I personally identify with the Alliance. I've longed to be part of a loving spiritual family with more heart-centered exchanges and less institutionally driven imperatives. And really for me also, it was hearing the definitions and examples of Tadatmya that has reassured me in two ways. Firstly, even though I am a proponent of radical personalism, I shy away from sentimentality, which for me is like unbecoming. I'm not fond of it. So I want personalism to be based on tattva and shastra. And therefore, for me, what Padmanabha Swami has done has allayed my concern by articulating the philosophical and the theological basis of the radical personalist ideals based on Shastra. And for me, again, the foundation of Shastra is deeply grounding and pleasing. And so this makes me all the more enthusiastic and happier about identifying with these projects. And then, secondly, becoming one in affection, or Tadatmya, with Krishna. As we know, it's the highest reach of our human attainment, and certainly it's my cherished goal. And it's where Gaudiya Vaishnavism leads us, as we're shown and instructed that we need to develop a desire to follow in the footsteps of our Gatmika associate in Vraja, who are all one in heart with Krishna. So, in other words, we're to be schooled in the ways of Tadatmya from the higher planes. But how else can we practice Tadatmya with Krishna and the Ragatmikas of Vraja if not in our relationships with fellow bhakti pilgrims right now, right? If we're to become completely identified as Krishna's servants, we'll first become identified as servants and friends of his devotees here. So, in other words, our practice of Tadatmya is guided and sheltered by the higher Tadatmya reality. We're just following in the footsteps of the residents of Vraja as we're meant to do. So it's for these reasons that the Tadatmya Devotional Alliance makes really a lot of imminent sense to me and is so very welcoming. And therefore, here I am, honored to be with you and looking forward to improving as a devotee and finding more Tadatma companions here. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you. Hare Krishna.